Caleb, thanks for joining me. It's a busy week, I appreciate that. But I've seen you walk in with your friends, with your people. I've sat here for a couple of minutes with you, and you are so relaxed and so calm.
Feeling good. I mean, I feel like you can relax and you know, rest well at night when you know that you've done everything that you're supposed to do. Leaving no stone unturned, not taking any shortcuts on anything, and like I said, just doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and not just for this camp, but throughout my whole career, doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, you know, and just regardless of the success that comes my way, making sure that I keep that discipline and that hunger. So.
But sometimes during your career, you've been able to do what you want to do because you've been on the sidelines, you've been on the edges, you've been coming towards the center. For this fight, you're right in the middle of it. You're in the heart of the storm here, aren't you?
That's exactly where I like to be.
It seems to me that it's this kind of big fight mentality that you've been waiting for all your life.
Absolutely. You know, I've said this all week. I'll keep saying it. You know, this sport means a lot to me. I got a lot of respect for this sport, and I cannot tell you the immense amount of work that me and my team have put in, me and my dad have put in, and that I have put in, you know, throughout my whole life since I was just a little boy. I want my name to be remembered forever. I want 1,000 years from now when people talk about boxing, you know, I want my name to come up in those conversations, and Saturday night is a huge step in that direction and a big step in me planting my, you know, flag as the best super middleweight in the world.
Building that legacy, building for that future. At what point in your boxing life or kickboxing life did you start to dream of winning a world title and topping a bill like this? At what point did you really start to dream about it?
When I first started. When I first started. Yeah, when I was just a little boy, that's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to do. And you know, I would tell everybody the same thing, and they would look at me crazy or look at me sideways and be like, well, you know, boxing's cool or fighting's cool, but you need a plan B in case that doesn't work out. And I would tell every last one of them the same thing. It's going to work out. And it's worked out, and here we are.
Does that put you under pressure though, Caleb?
No, it doesn't put me under pressure because this is what I wanted. This is what I want. And I'm a fighter. This is what I do. I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I've had to claw my way here. And so, you know, some fighters are gym fighters, and some fighters love when the lights come on. They love when there's a big crowd, and that's when the best gets brought out of them. And every moment, you know, previously, that's when I've always done the best, when the lights are on, when the cameras are on, when there's a big crowd, when people are booing me or rooting against me. You know, like I said, there's only one thing better than, you know, proving somebody right, and that's proving somebody wrong. And I feel like I get a chance to do that to a lot of people come Saturday night. So as far as pressure goes, you know, I feel like I honestly feel like this is my destiny and that I was born to do this.
I've got to ask you about that press conference where the two of you get to pushing, get to shoving, get to exchanging insults, and then eventually the hands start flying. At what point did you realize when you were up there alone with Saul Canelo that it was going to go wrong, that it was going to get ugly? At what point did you realize?
I mean, just after he pushed me, you know, when he pushed me, I responded how I was raised to respond. And, you know, if you do that to any other fighter, I'm sure a majority of them is going to respond the same way. And so maybe doesn't, you know, not everybody agrees with it, but not everybody's a fighter. And so we're not all wired the same way.
That was the street fighting Caleb Plant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he pushed me, so I was going to get him back. And, you know, I got one on him, he got one on me. You know, I had my sunglasses on. I wish I would have took my sunglasses off, but.
They're nice shades.
Yeah, they are. They were pretty nice.
They were?
Yeah. No, they're still intact, still in one piece. So, and but you know, my sunglasses pushed my skin up and caused a little scratch. But we was able to spar the very next day on Thursday. We was able to spar on Saturday. It was never any, you know, thing that was held me back from anything. So I didn't need stitches or anything like that. It was just a scratch.
So it wasn't an incident that you played over in your mind and lost sleep over. It happened. Move on. Back to sparring. Get to the fight.
Yeah, again, I mean, I said this in the last room, like I feel like so many people are making such a big deal of it. Like, I'm sure most of us have been in worse scuffles than that at some point in our life. So, I mean, it's happened a million times before me and him. It's going to happen a million times after us. That's part of fighting. That's part of boxing. And, you know, sometimes tempers are going to flare when there's so much on the line.
Now, I've been talking to various coaches who have had boxers against Canelo, and they tell me an odd thing. They say that their fighters get drained in the week of a fight, that the Canelo machine is so big, and that on the night and walk into the ring, they can see the life leaving their fighters. Is there any danger of that happening with you?
No, I'm not worried about that.
Because I mean, I'm genuine. Guys I know with attitude, I've seen them get in, and it's like, you remember what used to happen with Mike Tyson? It was like, you know, people would defeat him for the first belt.
Those guys aren't me. So, like, as I said, no.
I think that degree of hardship and stuff you've had to go through in your life to get to this point makes you a dangerous fighter on Saturday night.
Yeah, I've had plenty of chances to bow out. I've had plenty of chances to step away from this sport and call it quits and say, this is too hard, this is too much. And, I think my time here is done. And not once have I quit, especially in big fights. Boxing tells the character of a man. And so if I haven't proven my character yet, in the fact that there is no quit in me, and that I will fight to the death, that I don't quit, I don't stop for anybody, then, I don't know.
I've got to ask you this, not in the last year or so, because your name's been linked quite closely with Canelo, but let's say 5 or 6 years ago. Were you a Canelo fan as you were coming up through the ranks?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of his fights, and so.
And what's your feeling about him? Because some people say he's arrogant, some people say he's just naturally confident. What would be your feeling about him?
I ain't got no feelings about him. I don't think none of them.
He's just another opponent for you.
He's just another guy in the way of me fulfilling my destiny.
Let me ask you this, and finally, and I really appreciate your time and I really appreciate your honesty. This is for all 4 of the recognized belts. Only 5 men since 1988 have held all 4 of those modern belts. Does that part of history mean a lot to Caleb Plant?
It means a lot to me. And, I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for this interview with you, which I appreciate you taking the time to do, but I'm not here to be interviewed. I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here for the money. The only reason I'm here is because I want my name in those history books. It means a lot to me.